Yeah, hi everyone. Over the last 3 weeks I've been looking at certain aspects that God has been highlighting to me during this season of lockdown concerning the question of what it means to be truly human. Now, we are all hopeful that as lockdown eases that we will be able to come out and move about and become the people that God has called us to be, even more so. So I'm planning to kind of wind this whole discussion up and bring it to a bit of a conclusion this week, although there's sure to be stuff that goes on afterwards. So a brief recap. So my starting point has been that aspect of humility. You see, within each of us there is that sense that we are made in the image of God, and therefore we have an aspiration to become more like God. In some people that works out for good, but in others it can go horribly wrong. One of my favourite movie quotes comes from Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man's Uncle Ben when he says that with much power comes much responsibility. And as human beings we tend to think of the image of God as one of power and tend to forget that with that power comes so much responsibility. So humility means that we need to be willing to learn as we watch, listen, and allow others to bring correction, guidance, information into our lives. We need to know how to genuinely forgive those that offend us and celebrate with others when they do really well, even if we don't. We need to be prepared to lay down our own rights and position ourselves for the advantage of others. None of these things we can ever really maintain in our own strength. The key starting point to a life of humility, has to be prayer, has to be that humbling ourselves before God. So my second thought was around how we process all that is wrong with this crazy world that we live in. How to do lament and to do it well. It's one thing to lament when we feel abandoned and forsaken, hidden, and our voice is not listened to. We can rant and rave about injustice as much as we like, the futile vanity of life on earth, questioning what is the point of all of this. But if we don't do it with humility, we just become a set of very angry voices. Now, it's okay to disagree with God about the way things are, but as I often remind people in deep discussions, it's okay to disagree, just don't be disagreeable. Without humility, our disagreement becomes, I don't care what you think, you're wrong and I'm right. That kind of attitude becomes disagreeable, and then there's nowhere you can go with that kind of discussion. The discussion just has to end. But with humility, there is room to learn and to move forward. And so the biblical pattern of lament goes, I disagree with what is happening here, God. I just don't like it. But I know who you are, and I know what you've done in the past. And so because of that, I'm going to trust you even though I don't like this situation. In doing that, suddenly there becomes room to move forward. There is room for hope to spring up. And then we're in a place where we can stand with others who are in that place of lament, which ultimately leads us into thankfulness. So if we process humility and lament in tandem with each other, we effect what one of my older leaders used to refer to as having a check-up from the neck up and adopting an attitude of gratitude, which all leads us nicely into Thanksgiving, and I'll come back to that tomorrow. Bye for now.